Alright, so Shade Tree Joe here. Talking about a 2014 Chevy Equinox. It's got the little Ecotech motor in, a little 4-banger. Talking about what they want to try to call a cam phaser solenoid. It's for your timing of your cam. There are two little solenoids right here. You can see I got one unplugged already. That's them right there. So to get to those, well, let me back up and say that the Chevy house was trying to charge $1,000 to change those two and the spark plugs, 4 spark plugs, not the coil packs. So to get to it, you got two covers on your motor. The first one is part of your air intake, and so it'll have a hose connector that goes right on here. It's a round connector you can take off with a flathead screwdriver. Then on the bottom side of that housing, you've got another that goes right here where I've got that rag stuffed. Okay, that's your intake there. So so you loosen those up and then you pop it up. It's got some retainers it goes down into. So and then you'll have this little hose in the side of it, and that just pops out. So pretty easy. Just, you know, you do have to put a little bit of force into it. Once you loosen those clamps, you'll be good. Then you got your other cover, which actually covers all this right here. You'll take your oil cap off. Once that's off, again, it pops out. It's got little studs that it sits in, but it'll pop right up. There you can see one of the studs there, one there. You remove that cover, and then here you go. Here's your cam phaser solenoids, as I want to call them again. Two 10mm bolts, one for each one. Remove that 10mm bolt. Put a pair of pliers on the top side on that connector. It's trash anyways. And just twist left and right as you pull up, and they'll pop right out. You get ready to put your new one in. Put a little oil on the O-ring. You can see right here the O-ring it's got. So you put a little oil on there and then reseat them. You can't get them confused. One has gray, one has black. The connectors, you know, pop them back on there. Tighten that 10mm back down. For the plugs, for anybody who doesn't know, would like to know, 10mm bolt again. You'll need to take these connectors off. And then once you take that 10mm bolt out, you're going to pull that coil pack out. It's got a stem on it about 4 or 5 inches long. I go through and I always remove all of them. Just set them in order on the right here on this ledge in the order that they're coming off. That way you don't get them mixed up. Typically doesn't matter, but just in the event that you have one bad or something of that nature. But and then take your plug out and put your new plug in. Very basic, straightforward. Put it back together. I mean, you know, the whole thing less than an hour, and saved you each one of these cam phasers at the Chevy house, as they want to call them, the solenoids. They're $50, $39 when you ask for discount. O'Reilly has them. It's a Dorman part, and I believe it was $49. So get the Chevy part. Just, you know, the plugs, I think that was about $40 or $50 for all 4 plugs. So, you know, you're talking about you know, $150 roughly if you don't get the discount, versus $1,000 and then an hour's worth of your time. Minimal tools, very basic tool set to do this. Again, this is Shade Tree Joe, just showing you how to save a little money and take care of your car. You done spent the money once, why do it again?